Committee meeting for February 8th, 2022. Mrs. Camphouse, please call the roll.
Mr. Atwood.
Present.
Mrs. Cole.
Present.
Ms. Ballard.
Present.
Mrs. Rarica.
Present.
Mr. Taylor.
Present.
I'd ask everyone to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, item 3 on our agenda is the adoption of tonight's agenda. Can I get a motion to adopt tonight's agenda as written?
I'll motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Mrs. Camphouse, please call the roll.
Mr. Atwood.
Yes.
Mrs. Cole.
Yes.
Ms. Ballard.
Yes.
Mrs. Rarica.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
All right, since our agenda has been approved, we'll move on to section 4, which is our discussion item. 4.01 is a presentation from our middle school principal, Mr. Miller.
All right, thank you, Board President, members of the board, Superintendent Ronan, and guests. Good evening. Thank you for giving me a few minutes to talk about the middle school. And is there someone that's doing the slides? No slides?
The
No?
slides are up there.
Oh, they are? Should I do it? I can do it. I can go up there. Would you like me to? I can.
Sure. Sure.
No, I'll do it. I didn't know.
Do you want to move it yourself, or do you want me to do it
Well,
for you?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I got to time myself because I want to be respectful of your time. How does this guy work? Just one forward?
Yep, that's it.
Okay. All right. So when I was thinking about tonight about what to share with you, what would be important, and it was really 3 things that stuck out to me. It was engagement, participation, and support. And I have to go back a little bit, so this was a good place to start. This takes us all the way back into March when we were coming back from a hybrid schedule. And in retrospect, I believe the district made a very good decision about getting our kids back as soon as possible. And a teacher had a great idea about sending a message to our students, to our staff, to our community, that we're here. We're Norwood Middle School. We're here. We're all in. We're all together. So that was a great place to start. I love that picture. And I spoke about engagement, participation, and support. And so transition camp is something that we do every year with our students. And this year in particular was very important because we were bringing really 2 grades on that had not been in the building. And when I talk about participation, this is a bit tiny print, but we had over 90 kids, 90 kids that came during the summer to be a part of the transition camp. To meet teachers, to do activities, to get them familiar with the building, and it was phenomenal. So they got to do some very basic things, or at least basic to us, in terms of learning their schedule, where the lunchroom is, using a lock, that all important thing of having your very first friend or a familiar face for that first day of school. So our families, our students, again, are participating and engaging. 90 was that was the highest number that we've had in a transition camp. So we certainly will offer that again this fall, and parents can be looking out for that information. Just a few pictures from some things, some activities our students have done with some team building as well as a career day that we had. Students are participating. 70 students right now and growing involved in our after-school programs in terms of the Avenues clubs as well as homework help. First time ever that we've had two rooms full, every day full of kids that come and stay. And they're always invited to be here. And again, it's growing. It's wonderful to see. 70 kids, that's fabulous. Being involved and participating in activities during and after school as well. Students being engaged and participating. Our 8th grade DC trip, which is on this year, which is very exciting. We have nearly 60 kids at this point that are committing to going this May, and we just added a second bus to accommodate a wait list and overflow. So that's wonderful. Student council We have 6th to 8th grade students on Student Council 7. We have over 20 students in the National Junior Honor Society, which again is probably the highest number, I think, that we've had since I've been here. Their special project this year was Christmas Town. They helped with Spirit Week and a lot of projects around the building as well. Team sports. We have over 126 7th and 8th grade students involved in sports. And that's about 45% of those kids. 45% is a high number. And many of these kids are multi-sport athletes, which is fabulous. Honor roll. First quarter, we had a nearly 45%, not nearly, of our students that received a 3.0 or higher. Second quarter, 38%. Gear Up Career Day is an event for our 7th and 8th grade students. That's always a big event for us and for our kids to get to see a profession, a trade, something of interest to them. And the response from the community is awesome with folks coming in and kids having an opportunity to see something they might be interested in. Again, these are some photos. Some of those are from Career Day. One of those, I believe, is from one of the after-school clubs. It's just awesome. You walk around in the hallways after school and kids are here. It's wonderful. Our library, and occasionally I send these in the status report. Miss Shelby's done a wonderful job. She's very excited, obviously, to be back in the library, to be a librarian. Over 4,500 circulations, books checked out so far this year. Of course, that includes Williams, but she's doing a wonderful job of supporting both Williams and the middle school and engaging classes and teachers in checking out books, reading. It's wonderful. Total over 5,000 unique visitors. I'm not quite sure how she tracks that, but that's a number she came up with. That's wonderful. She does a great job every month, of supporting top readers. As you can see, sorry, that's out of line a little bit up there, who we've already recognized these students for the month of January. And just a plug, our book fair will be April 4th through the 8th. Wow, there we go. Supporting students. I mentioned engaging and participating students, but also supporting. We knew coming into the school year, as we do every year, but particularly this year, kids academically, social, emotionally, how we can help support them. And also at the higher end, honors classes that we have with ELA, math, high school track with Algebra 1, Spanish. But in terms of students that were struggling, we help support them through math and reading focuses. Our 6th grade teachers are working together during enrichment bells to work every day, 10 minutes addition with all of the students to do enrichment using IXL. Our 7th and 8th grade math teachers have developed focus groups based off of the map testing that we do to target groups of students who really need the extra assistance and help. We also have, which we have had, our reading labs and math labs that are set up to support kids from the beginning. They're in there for approximately a semester. So what are some results of that? And I'll be quick and brief. One of the lab teachers has shared that his semester group 1.8 is the grade equivalent growth for his group of kids, which is phenomenal for a semester. That's Mr. Bolden and Ms. Miller, who both run those reading groups, labs. Our math targeted groups. So this is, I want to say quickly, this is in addition to any of the labs that we have. These are groups of students that our teachers are working in extra during the flex bell, which is kind of hard to see from this graph, but I'm trying to highlight a comparison from winter to fall to winter. They were really focusing on concepts and applications. So I know you can't see the numbers there specifically. They kind of grew in every area, but the point is the targeted area they were focusing on, we've seen a lot of growth. Supporting our students in terms of SEL. These are just some highlights of that. Every Wednesday we do a weekly writing prompt. This is the whole building. We do mindful music, which is a guided meditation. Miss Richards helps out tremendously with that, as well as small groups that are run during lunch, during flex bell or enrichment bell, and they're kind of done on a rotating basis. And of course our counselors meet with students individually.
What's SEL?
Social emotional learning.
Oh.
Yep, no problem. In sixth grade in particular, we knew we wanted to help them out, particularly coming to the middle school. It's a new building. So we helped support them through a program with Ms. Chesson's assistant, of course. The second step program, as you see the areas. And that's really been ongoing. In fact, we were first going to just do it for the first quarter. And the teachers really have seen the value in that, and we're continuing with that, with building on that with our sixth grade in particular. But some of that certainly has bled over, or we are kind of pushing that into the rest of the building. Obviously, we want to. Our kids need it. The Unity Day and Anti-Bullying Support Day was something that we did as a building in October to help support that. The PAX Warrior Cart and the Miller Money, the Toodles. Some of you may know what this is. This is a way that we support kids that are PAX leaders in our building. The important piece of that is the teachers don't just give them a piece of paper. They write very, very nice notes on them to the kids, specifically, hey, this is what I saw you do. This is what you're doing. This is why you deserve this, and I want to recognize you. And we've had support from, just our support staff, the teachers, everyone to help support the program. And it's just wonderful to see. We do a raffle of that. We pull those off. You might notice it near the office. They're listed up there. We do that every week. So anyways, it's a highlight for the kids during the week and for us as well to read those. So it's a joy. The team building exercises is something our 8th grade team has been doing, which you can maybe see they're trying to eat a cookie off their head. So that was rather hilarious. There we go. So this is the PAX matrix is something that our teachers have worked on this year, last year, to develop, here's how you should act, behave, here, there, things of that nature. We've moved the PAX program up from the elementary into the middle school. It's not an exact fit, but we're finding ways to make the concepts work at the middle school for sure. And that's Mr. Alsop there with the cart. Kids covet these Miller bucks, trust me. And it wasn't my choice of the naming of that. So,
Why? Do you not like it?
I'm not, I don't know. Nah, I love the picture though.
I don't know. Whoever named it must be.
We have a new artist though. That's what I like. That.
Yeah. I think the artwork on there is pretty nice.
We'll have to display that. So, supporting our students academically, behaviorally, our teachers meet every week, multiple times a month in our TBT meetings. They certainly look at academic data, but we're addressing student concerns as well in terms of behavior. And I'm not here to sugarcoat it. There are challenges. We still have academic challenges. There are still gaps. There are still behavior things that we're working on, but we're headed in the right direction. This is something I got off of Aubrey yesterday. It's not airbrushed in. This is real. When kids came all back in the fall, they hadn't been around each other. How to interact. So we had referrals, we had discipline. For sure, that happens. So this is not always the most fun topic to talk about. But what we like to see is the trend we're seeing there. Yes, there was a dip with Christmas, but we're still seeing a dip in the behaviors of students. And we're back, we're down in teens, which is wonderful. And this is very recent. I just did this. So things like this are what we want to see that suggest what we're trying to do and what we're doing is working and helping. So I wanted to share that. I'm not scared of it. And I'm almost at the end. I'll let you read. This is a tearjerker for me. I'll talk slowly while you take a look at this. In no way am I putting this up here to highlight me, to project me. I think it was more to show you what we are trying to do with how we support our staff and our people and the culture and the care and concern that we truly have for our teachers and our kids. And I didn't pay the teacher to send this.
Not yet.
It was so nice. It was just so nice. So if you had a chance to read it, that's wonderful. And last bit of good news, just found out this week we have a teacher that's won the Warm 98 Teacher of the Week. And this teacher was nominated by a student, which, again, if the parents or student that happens to be listening, shh, don't say anything yet. So that information will come out soon enough. So next week, actually. So that's all I got. If you have
So
questions.
does it say who the teacher is?
Oh, please tell me I don't have the teacher.
No,
No, you
I don't
don't.
know. I was looking at the name Cindy Patrick, and I'm like,
Oh.
I don't know that
No,
teacher.
no.
She's the-
She's
That's
a,
the person at Warm 98.
like a media director or someone.
So there is
I
a
suppose.
teacher in the middle school. We don't know who it is.
That's correct, and it's a secret at the moment. Till next week.
The announcement on 2/17.
Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Miller? Nope. I'd like to thank you, Mr. Miller, for your presentation and all the great things that are going on at the middle school.
Thank you. My pleasure.
My
Alright.
kids like it. I approve.
I'm glad. I'm glad.
All right, next on our agenda, Section 5, the Education Committee Report, and I'll turn the floor over to Board Member Ms. Ballard.
Thank you, Mr. President. It looks like if you check in your board docs, there is a request on there for Mr. Robinson. It was an addition that was left off of the competition list that we approved already. It's just one change in the lineup from their competitions for the silhouettes. 5.02 is the Norwood High School Middle School Parent Teacher Conference and District Curriculum Nights. Listed as Wednesday, September 14th as the district curriculum night. 5.03 is the conference dates. Parent-teacher conference is September 14th. For the curriculum, October 12th and February 15th of the following year are both the parent-teacher conferences. And that concludes my report.
Does anybody have any questions or concerns about any of the items in the Education Committee? Thank you, Ms. Ballard. We'll move on to item 6 in our agenda, which is superintendent recommendations, and I'd like to turn the floor over to Superintendent Rooney.
Oh, thank you, President Atwood. It's a small list tonight. Under supplementals, we are hiring the varsity girls track coach and also the director of our high school spring play, and also a pupil activity contract for varsity assistant boys track. And we're simply making a correction on the reserve softball head coach position. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Superintendent Ronan. Does anybody have any questions or concerns about any of the employment recommendations? No, we'll move on to item 7 in our agenda, the Buildings and Grounds Committee Report, and I'd like to turn the floor over to Board Member Mrs. Brerica.
Thank you. Looks like we have a Girl Scout troop asking to use our parking lot February 19th from 9 to 3 on a Saturday to do a drive-through cookie booth. I don't know why I didn't ask to do this when I had younger Girl Scouts.
It's a good idea, isn't
I
it?
still have Girl Scouts, but we have given up cookies. That doesn't mean other people should. But we have. We're done. But this is exciting. I like it.
All right. Anybody have any questions or concerns about the facility use request? Thank you, Mrs. Brerica. We'll move on to Section 8 in our Finance Committee report, and I'd like to turn the floor over to Treasurer Mrs. Campos.
Thank you, Mr. President. The CFO report, monthly financials, and change order listings are attached for your review. Finance Committee met this afternoon and reviewed the CFO report and also discussed annual cash flow issues and staffing. 8.02 appropriation resolution, our budget for the year. On the agenda, 8.03 Hamilton County DD contract to provide services to qualified students as defined through their IEP. 8.04 purchase over $20,000. Due to ongoing groundwater issues at Williams, we must replace the gym floor. We will replace the wooden floor with a water impervious concrete floor with a vinyl padding and covering that helps cushion but still provides bounce back for the basketballs. This is the same process that we used at View for the same reason, and both the staff and parents have been very happy with the results. 8.05, Hope Squad Participation Agreement. This agreement will extend our Hope Squad offerings to the middle school. We will use student wellness funds to pay for this service. And 8.06, then and now purchase orders, some invoices that need board approval due to the modified PO process. And that is all I have for finance.
Perfect. Thank you, Mrs. Camp House. Does anybody have any concerns or questions about any of the finance items?
No, but I do have something positive. I just put up on the screen this great picture of our students. I understand that NBC might be interested in using this great picture of our children
Oh,
because they saw it on our website. So I also have it up on the screen for everyone to see. It's a darling picture. So we'll see. So we'll watch this weekend and see if they use it
like during the Super Bowl?
during the Super Bowl.
Wow. Wow.
So
Well,
we shall see.
Can we go ahead and announce the thing about Saturday? Would that be okay?
Yes.
Since we're talking about the Super Bowl and how exciting that is, our district students have been asked to participate in a pep rally this Saturday. So we would love for our community families, any students, especially our football players of all ages, cheerleaders of all ages, and just fans in general that want to come out and show their support. This Saturday at 4 o'clock at the Montgomery Road entrance to the Wasson Way bike path. We're going to do a short parade, just a little pep rally to hopefully see our first Super Bowl win this weekend. It'd be really
I
awesome.
think there'll be hot chocolate and coffee,
Be a lot of fun.
balloons, and you can bring homemade signs.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
So
and we're gonna wave at cars over the highway and yell with our signs.
Yelling is always a good time. So we'd love to see as many students out there as possible, and all of our community come out and show their support. So
Fantastic.
Also, happy Black History Month. I was just reading today that Wilma Rudolph, who was a track star in the Olympics, became a teacher after she was in the Olympics. And I was like, oh, I have a board meeting tonight.
Fantastic. Any other things that need to be shared or we need to discuss before we adjourn? No? May I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Thank you, everyone. 23 minutes.
Good job, good job.